Hello and welcome to another episode of WVU Extension Today. I'm your host, Zach Harold. We're going to begin today's episode with a visit to the WVU Center for Black Culture and Research. The center provides educational, social, and cultural support for African and African American students, faculty, staff, and community members. Let's check out this conversation with Center Director Dr. Marjorie Fuller and Center Program Director Eric Jordan about the history of the center, what kind of programs they offer, their ongoing research, and more.
Hello, I'm Eric Jordan, and I'm the Program Coordinator for the Center for Black Culture and Research.
Hello, my name is Dr. Marjorie Fuller. I'm the Director of the Center for Black Culture and Research here at WVU. You know, one of the reasons that the center was founded was student voices. Student voices that said, we don't have enough representation here on campus. And so they wanted more Black faculty. They wanted a place like this where they could come and feel comfortable, to feel as if they were supported and represented. And so that's why the center was founded. This building is very important on campus because it was the first, and as we understand it right now, only freestanding Center for Black Culture and Research that there is in West Virginia. And so we are very proud, very happy to be here working. And it's been around since 1986. I started in 2008. And so the center means a great deal to us, to the entire campus, really.
Yeah.
It is the kind of place where it's a hub for student organizations, for students as they are transitioning in and out, for students as they go to class, they come here in between classes. The pandemic hurt us, but we're back.
Yeah, the center, I think, is great for students, especially for, students of color who coming into a predominantly white institution. It gives them a sense of like home. And that's what we try to have, a family vibe here, family environment.
And I have to give a shout out to Eric's father, Norman Jordan, one of the preeminent Affirmation poets in the nation. So we are really proud to have Eric here with us too, because he's a talent and a very great support system here in the center. The Black experience is the American experience, and that it's everywhere. Our students need to know these things. And when we teach them these things, then they take that with them. They develop a different perspective about what it is to be Black in this country. And so we, yes, provide them with what they need to navigate this environment. You know, PWIs are not easy for Black students, but we also teach them that they come from a tradition that is strong and that perseveres and that is everywhere, not just here at WVU. The entire world is their oyster, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we want that to continue. We believe that is a very important part of our mission.
One of the most powerful things I've seen here at the center is a program that Ms. Fuller brought here, and it was called the Academic Stars. Now, the Academic Stars program it's a summer program to bring kids in 5 weeks before school starts, a group of students of color where they get together and they do an academic portion and we do a cultural portion. But seeing those kids bond together and attack this university as a group, and seeing them work with each other and lean on each other when times are hard, that was powerful. And a lot of those students became leaders in our campus.
And they came to campus and other students would say, how do you know so many people already? You just got here. Because they had their STARS brothers and sisters that they kept a connection with,
right.
But their real goal was to bring other students into the fold, to bring other students into the community, and to continue to build out a community of support and love, and to just structure themselves so that they were there for one another when things would happen.
The academic aspect of, speaking of specifically our program, Academic Stars, the academic component of it is awesome. They learn to navigate the campus. They get that credit, they get the classroom experience, but it's the week of the cultural part that we do that is the most powerful impact. You just see these kids wake up. You just see it. And it's like, wow, that is probably one of the most rewarding things I see.
I was born here, but I was raised in northeastern Ohio, but I had family here. So I was familiar with the area. I came back quite a bit as a young person. And the one thing that I've noticed about West Virginia that has been different from other areas that I've lived in as a Black person, it's almost like it's more about being a West Virginian than it is about being Black. And like we call it Afralacia, because we know that the African American experience is different everywhere than the white experience, but there seemed to be more of a pride in being from Appalachia for Black people from here than in other areas, like maybe Appalachia in other states. There is a connection with West Virginia that is undeniable. We had something extraordinary happen here. We had a donation made to us of some artifacts from the Black high school that was segregated here in Morgantown, and it was purchased, and these things were discovered and given to the center. And I had been doing a project on Dorothy Vaughan, who was one of the hidden figures subjects from the NASA, the movie about NASA putting the first man on the moon and the Black women that were involved in that. And Dorothy Vaughan was a very prominent part of that story. We're going through, and Dorothy Vaughan actually grew up on Beechhurst. So we're going through these artifacts, and there was a valise with letters in it. Make a long story short, one of the letters in this valise was written by Dorothy Vaughan when she was Dorothy Johnson, a student headed to Xavier University. And we realized it was her because she's mentioning all of these elements in her history that we knew about. And I'm reading this letter and this is Dorothy Vaughan. I mean, it was so exciting. And so we are planning to make a donation of this letter to the African American History Museum in DC in West Virginia University's name as a permanent loan. And we found it just because somebody gave us some artifacts from the high school. It wasn't even like we were looking for, I'm looking for something to support my research on Dorothy Vaughan. It was a surprise. This year, as you probably know, as the listeners probably know, the two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl are Black, But it's not the first time that two Black quarterbacks have played against each other. Right. And so we are doing a panel discussion with some of our Black quarterbacks. Major Harris is coming and join us. We're trying to get several others who I won't name because they haven't committed yet. Right. But also we are bringing Spencer Paysinger from the Netflix series All-American. And so we are going to put together a panel discussion to talk about what it's like to be a Black quarterback in an environment that hasn't necessarily embraced the Black quarterback.
There's been so much, stigma with the Black quarterbacks. We even our own Geno Smith from WVU this year, made it to the playoffs this year. So I think it's going to be a great panel discussion. One of our things that we connect with is movies. Like we both love The Godfather. We do like that. So one of the things that we're really proud about that we just started last year is the Black Film Festival. And we'll be doing our Black Film Festival this year, March 31st in the Mount Lair Ballroom. Last year was amazing. You want to definitely come to this, and I think our highlight feature this year will be the Black Panther. Yeah, so March 31st, come check us out. cbc.wvu.edu.
We've all been there. You go into the grocery store to pick up a few things and you leave with more than a few things. 4-H Youth Development Agent Liz Matheny is here to teach us how to save some money while shopping at the grocery store.
Shopping smart can seem like a difficult task when it comes to grocery shopping. Now more than ever, we're seeing the prices of some of our most basic items increase. Hi, I'm Liz Matheny with West Virginia University Extension, and today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to be more financially savvy at the grocery store. One of the easiest things you can do before going to the grocery store is be prepared. Make a list. I keep my list right on the refrigerator. I add items as I go along, items I may be out of or items I may be out of soon. There's nothing worse than getting home from the grocery store and realizing you forgot the milk and the eggs. Take this one step further by meal prepping. Now, meal prepping may seem a little intimidating at first, but in the long run, it's going to save you time, energy, and stress on those busy evenings. Meal prepping allows you to identify every item that you need for your meals during the week. This will keep you from purchasing things you do not need. Now that you have your list, you're ready to go to the grocery store. And while you're there, check out those store brand items. Store brand items can save you money in the long run. It's a simple and easy way to just save money. Store brand item quality is just as good as the name brand. And this is a good way to try and break that name brand cycle. Store brands are the easiest way to save money at the grocery store. But you also want to look at those price per unit. Price per unit is located on the price tag of every item. Now, the initial price that you see may be lower on one item than another, but if you look closer at the price per unit, you can see how much you're paying per roll of toilet paper or paper plate, even pound of beef or chicken. Looking at the price per item can show you what you're really getting. It might be less at first glance, but you could be getting less product. If you're like me, you love buying in bulk, but it only makes sense to buy in bulk for items you know you can use before they go bad or expire. Paper goods are a perfect example. Shelf-stable items like rice and pasta are a good idea as well. Buying bulk and fresh fruits and vegetables only makes sense if you have a large family. You don't want more waste. And wasting your food isn't saving you money, although it may be good for your compost. We used to say that clipping those coupons was a way to go to save money. Now, most of those coupons are right in the palm of your hand. Downloading apps for certain stores can give you coupons and notifications for items that you purchase all the time. Doing this can save you money. If you're lucky enough to live in a community that has multiple grocery stores, you can shop around, going store to store, getting the items that you need at the lowest price. It's also good to check if a store honors price matching. This might save you a little time on the road, and you can get that better price for the items that you need. Another thing you may consider is doing your grocery shopping online and picking up. I like to use this method because I am an impulse shopper. Ordering my groceries online, my basic items that I use every day and purchase over and over again, is a good way to go. It keeps me from grabbing that candy bar or that pop on the way out. It also keeps me away from those good deals that really aren't good deals. Shopping online could be an option for you. You have to weigh the pros and the cons. You will also want to consider your environment. Environment impacts everything that we do. From impulse buying to our basic grocery decisions, the environment of the grocery store does matter. Try to go during a time when it isn't quite so busy. Busy grocery stores can increase stress and really impact that decision making. If you're lucky, try to go alone. Distracted grocery shopping leads to impulse buying and just wanting to rush out of the grocery store. You might miss the items you need, and you might miss that sale item that you had your eye on. Grocery shopping environment is an absolute easy way to impact and help you save money. Another way to make your grocery experience a little more productive, And less of an impulse is to never grocery shop when you're hungry. This is a fast way to end up with items you don't have in your budget just because you want that quick sugary fix. For more tips and tricks on how to be more financially savvy in the grocery store, contact your local extension office.
The WVU Day of Giving will take place on March the 22nd, 2023. It's a 24-hour event that allows folks to donate money to various causes, including the 4-H State Camp Scholarship. The scholarship will support youngsters attending 4-H programs and camps at WVU Jackson's Mill. It was established by lifelong 4-H'er Donna Gail Michael and her husband, retired Reverend Lewis Craig Michael. Unfortunately, Donna Gail passed away before she was able to see the scholarship come to fruition. But recently, Lewis and their family and friends gathered at Jackson's Mill to celebrate Donna Gail's life and make a formal announcement about the scholarship. Let's take a look at how all that came together.
She was a 4-H'er for 75 years. And she was Big Chief of the All-Stars in 1981. And as far as I know, she was elected to the All-Stars when she was still an undergraduate at West Virginia University. So she'd been an All-Star for 60 years. This was her special place. There was no place more special than Jackson's Mill, and no people more special than the All-Stars. And some of the people we'll meet tonight have probably known her longer than I have, and I've known her for 60 years. It's a long time. This is the place, this is the occasion. I think she would have been very pleased, that we could do it here. So I wanted to greet you and thank you so very much for coming to honor Donna Gail. This is the way it should be. You are her people. This is her place. So thank you.
I have been coming to All-Star Conference on an annual basis for decades. I would get a call in my younger days from Donna Gail. Are you coming to All-Star Conference? And I'd say, well, no, I don't think I'm going to make it. I blah, blah, blah. What I wanted to do was, well, I won't even tell you what I wanted to do. But I would show up, and I would do whatever Donna Gail asked me to do. She was chief for a while, but she was also always involved in the program. Always had something to do with it. She would always call on me to do something. And I think because of that consistent calling on me, when they went to Arizona, I just came to All-Star Conference, just something I did. She was a delightful woman, a really good woman, Donna Gail.
She was very generous. She loved the kids. Very kind person, very forgiving. She was just really great. She was a great, great friend. If you had something that was troubling you and you wanted to talk to her, she was a pretty good counselor too. So she was pretty awesome.
So they moved to Charleston for a number of years, where guess what Donna Gail did? Started a 4-H club, which then led to we had a farm, and still have a farm, and had horses. And so she found out that there was a horse 4-H club in Kanawha County. And so our children then participated at Camp Virgil Tate many, many times in the horse camp. I just wanted to reminisce and think about those happy times that we have had together.
Well, you've heard some wonderful stories about Donna Gail, and the announcement that we have to make tonight is about her legacy. So, like her colleagues mentioned, she is one to be behind the scenes. Talking about her estate plans with Craig and Donna Gail, 4-H was always in her mind. She wanted to make sure that youth from across the state, no matter what county, no matter what city that they were in, would get the chance to experience 4-H and 4-H camping specifically at Jackson's Mill. Donna Gail, through Craig, has established the 4-H State Camp Scholarship Endowment. The first of its kind with Extension and 4-H. It's going to provide scholarships to any youth in the state to come to any camping activity at Jackson's Mill with 4-H. That's our traditional state camps. That's our traditional state camps, our weekend camps, coding camp, dance camp, our pod camps that are new through COVID. Any type of 4-H camping activity here will be able to have these scholarships applied. So I just want to say thank you to the Michael family and for Donna Gale establishing this scholarship for the future of our youth in West Virginia.
Anyone can contribute, and we hope people will, because this is really a general endowment. It's not restricted to specific scholarships or specific counties in West Virginia, it's for any 4-H'er who can come here to attend whatever class or camp or seminar is offered. I would ask them to learn and love 4-H as much as she did. If they become good 4-H'ers, if they become good leaders, then they filled the promise, who knows where 4-H can take you? Who knows what you can do? Who knows what you can learn? Or for that matter, where you can live as a 4-H'er.
And we're going to conclude today with an encouragement to eat your Brussels sprouts. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Take it away, Elizabeth.
Hi, and welcome to WVU Extension Family Nutrition Program Studio Kitchen. I'm Elizabeth, and we're going to put together a recipe today called Brussels sprout slaw. So we're going to start with our little cabbages here. We need to slice these up in very thin ribbons. So we have a pound, and we're just going to slice these up very carefully. I have already taken about a pound and I have washed them in the sink, and we're going to slice them in very thin ribbons, being careful not to cut our fingers. We're making them into a slaw. First of all, you have a stem on the bottom, and we're going to cut that off. We'll cut them in two and put our flat sides down on our cutting board, and we're slicing in thin ribbons. Before starting my recipe, I did wash my hands. It's always important to do that before starting anything in the kitchen. Sometimes our Brussels sprouts have some leaves on the outside that need to be discarded, so we take those off as well. Brussels sprouts are very good for us. They have a lot of vitamin C, vitamin K, and potassium. Okay, we have cut up in slices about a pound of Brussels sprouts, and we have them in our bowl. And next we're going to put in some raisins and some almonds and some Parmesan cheese. So we're going to start with a half a cup of raisins. Then we're going to put in 1/3 cup of almonds. They're sliced toasted almonds. And 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. We're going to fluff this and mix it. And then we're going to set this over to the side, and we're going to make our dressing. So for our dressing, we're going to start out with 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in. Then we're going to put a tablespoon of honey. You can also use maple syrup if you would like, but today we're using honey. Then I'm going to put in a little bit of yellow mustard. It is about a tablespoon of yellow mustard. And then last, our final ingredient is we're going to put a little bit of ground pepper. And we're going to take our fork and we're going to whisk that together for our dressing. And once we have that good and mixed, we're going to then take our Brussels sprout slaw that we have made, and we're just going to pour it over top of our slaw in our bowl. And then we will take our spoon and we will mix this up. Our Brussels sprout slaw is going to have a nutty flavor. Sometimes people think they don't care for Brussels sprouts, but maybe you've not tried them certain ways. And this is a good way to try them without even having to cook them. Sometimes people cook them a little bit too long and they get a really pungent, bitter flavor. But this way, it is just mixed in with our dressing and we coat our Brussels sprout slivers just like we would in any slaw. You can refrigerate it for up to 3 days or you can have it for dinner. So here we have our Brussels sprout slaw, and I'm gonna have a taste. We'll get the Brussels with the sweetness of the raisins. Tastes very good. I think you'll like it. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of WVU Extension Today. We'll see you right back here next time.